Okay. Okay, we'll start. I'm not sure about others. Everyone said yes, but maybe they might be busy. We'll share the recording later. Okay. Okay. So today we will discuss about one of the most important topic, that is about performance tuning. So as a developer, you should be knowing like what are the best practices you need to follow while coding, and also in case if there are any performance issues, you should be in a position to debug it and do the performance tuning and all. So we'll see few features what all we can do in case if there are any bottlenecks and if there are any performance issues in your workflow and all. Okay, so first of all, performance tuning. When we go for a performance tuning is if there are any bottlenecks in your flow, in your workflow. um, so we'll consider one scenario. So consider you have a source, okay, which is either a table or a flat file. So we'll consider this as a source, which is a table. Okay, so you are getting some 10 million records every day. You might be getting a 10 million records from this source, which you are supposed to load it to another table. So in between, you might be performing a number of transformations, formatting the data and all. Okay, so in between, you might be applying any transformations and all. So if this is a scenario, so assume like you have created a workflow for it. Okay, so you have created a workflow, and in the workflow you have created a session, and within from session you are calling a mapping which is performing this requirement. So this is supposed to run every day. So assume like at every day at 7 a.m. AST IST, this workflow has to run. So you are scheduled it to run at 7 a.m. IST, and they have provided you a SLA. So the team which provides you the requirement, right, they will always give you a SLA also, that is called a service level agreement. But that is nothing but the time by when they expect the data in the target. Okay, so if assume like the batches complete by max 7 a.m. and the data will be available in the source by 7 a.m. So your workflows will be scheduled to run at that time. So they might provide you a SLA, say like by 7:30. Okay, by 7:30 a.m. the data should be available in the target, so that their processes will run and process that data. So this is the SLA they have provided. So assume you have done the coding. So how much time you have, guys? So you have 30 minutes of time to complete your workflow. Okay, so since it's a used data, so assume you have done the coding and all, you are tested with respect to the data quality, the requirement, everything is working fine. So now after that you say that this workflow is running for me for 45 minutes. Okay, so it's almost taking to 45 to say like 1 hour. So this workflow, it is taking every day when I run it, it is taking 45 minutes to 1 hour. That means there is some performance issue as per the SLA they have provided. So they want me to complete this flow within 30 minutes, but as per my coding, it is taking almost 45 minutes to 1 hour. So in such cases, we perform some practices to check where we have issues, performance issues, and how we can overcome it. Okay, and there are few best practices which you can blindly follow whenever you start with your coding. So it will always improve the performance. Okay, so that we'll check today. So the first point here is to identify the bottleneck where we have a performance issue. So in order to find out that, we have two types. One is with the by analyzing the session logs what you generate. So when we run the workflow, it creates as a session logs, right? So with the session logs we can check if there are any performance issue. So what we'll do is we'll take a simple example here just to see that. um, So we'll consider one flat file as a source. Okay, we'll consider this EMP data. So what I'll do is, just to make it, to get some extra records, I'll just copy the same data so that we get some more records in our source. Okay, assume we have some 1000 plus records here. So I'll just use this file as a source. Okay, it's the same employee data. So I'll take that source here, flat file, EMP data. So assume we are loading it to a target table. That is my EMP target. Okay. Okay, this is my mapping. To run it, we'll go to our workflow. Okay, let me create a new session. Load EMP data. Okay, so let me connect it to start. Okay, so this is my session. So here I'll give the path of the source file. Okay, I have given a file as a target. I'll replace it with the table. Okay. Okay. So now if I run this workflow, so I can see the session here. So the session is running and it is completed. So with the help of session logs, we'll be able to check few things like whether there are any performance issues or not. That is the first method, using session logs by analyzing the thread statistics. So there is something called as thread statistics, which we can get within the session logs. In Informatica, when we run a workflow, there will be three types of threads which will be created. One is called as reader thread, another one is writer thread, third one is called transformation thread. By default, whenever you run a workflow, it will create you three threads. Reader thread, this reader thread is responsible for extracting the data from the source. That's why it is called as reader thread. It 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 takes the data from the source. Writer thread is something which loads the data to the target, and transformation thread is responsible for the transformations whatever you are doing in you within your mapping. Okay, these are the three threads. So if I go and check the session log here, get session log, and if I find something with thread, you can see this. Okay, let me create one transformation also, so that, so since there are no transformations in the mapping, it has just created me the reader thread and the writer thread. So we don't see the any transformation thread, since because we don't have any transformation. So if I simply create one transformation like or let me have an expression. Okay, let me take the logs now. Okay, can you see the three types of threads here created? One is the reader thread. Then we have something called thread transformation. Okay, so whenever you run your workflow, so you get three threads: reader, transformation, and writer thread. What happens is, so we can get these thread statistics. What are those statistics? We can get something called as runtime of the thread. What is runtime? Amount of time the thread was running. That time I can get it. Ideal time, amount of time the thread was idle. For each of this reader, writer, and transformation thread, I can get these thread statistics: runtime, idle time, and busy time. Busy time is the percentage of runtime where the thread was not idle. Okay, so by getting these thread statistics, if any of the threads, also we get something called as busy percentage. Okay, if any of the threads busy percentage is greater than 100, then we say there is a bottleneck at that place. In case if the reader threads busy percentage is greater than 100, we say there is some bottleneck, that is there is some performance issue while reading the data from the source. If the busy percentage of writer thread is greater than 100, we say while loading the data to the target, there is some performance issue. If transformations thread the busy percentage is greater than 100, the transformations, the formatting what we are doing with the help of transformations, there is some performance issue at that point. So that we can make it out with this thread statistics. If you see the logs here, it says thread reader created for the partition point sq emp data. This is my source qualifier. So the reader thread is created for my source, has completed. It says the total runtime was insufficient for meaningful statistics. That means since the source records were the source data was very less. It was not able to create any meaningful statistics since it ran very fast. It completed quickly. It was not able to create any meaningful statistics. If you are dealing with huge data, then you'll get the statistics what I explained here. Okay. Same thing it says for transformation thread and writer thread. Okay, so what we can do is let me try to add some more records so that we can get some statistics. Okay, so this should be fine. So let me rerun my workflow again with I've added some more data. So it has taken some 93,000 records and loaded. Now if I go and check the log, so now you can see the statistics very clearly. Okay, so if you see first it says for the reader thread, for the source as completed, it says the total runtime, how much time it took to run, and in that how much time it was idle, and this is the busy percentage I was talking about. Okay, so in case if the busy percentage is greater than 100, then we say there is some bottleneck, there is some performance issue. Here the busy percentage for reader thread is 22, so there is no issue. Likewise for transformation thread it is just 4, and for writer thread it is 100. So still it is 100, not greater than 100. So if you see, if you observe, we have taken 93 around 93,000 records from source, that is a flat file, and we are loading those records into a target which is a table. So while reading the data from the file, the busy percentage is only 22. The same data when I'm trying to load it to a table, it is around 100. So that's why we say um, reading or loading the data to a flat file is quicker than a table. Either it can table, it might be a source or a target. If you compare, if you take one flat file as a source and also a table, you add same amount of data in both that file and a table and try to extract the data from them. So Informatica, it will be able to extract the data very quickly from a file than a table. That's why if you can see, though I'm taking the same data and loading to the target, the busy percentage is quite more here. But still this is fine because the busy percentage is not greater than 100. In case if it is greater than 100, then we say there is a performance issue. So it is 100 and it completed very quickly. Okay, so using this thread statistics from the session logs, this is one way of identifying if there are any performance issues. So now I checked here, so there was no issue for me. Then what else I can do? So the second approach is called as Informatica recommended approach, which we normally follow. So what we do is, in that, the first thing is we assume that there is a bottleneck at source or target or at some transformation. We assume there is a bottleneck and then we try to test it. Okay. So what I'll do is, first step is check if there is a bottleneck at target. So I want to check whether there is a bottleneck, that is performance issue at the target while loading the data to the table. Okay. How can I check it? So I can do the testing using some test sessions by running some test sessions. What I can do is assume if your target is a table. So you are loading a data to a table as I am doing now. So in order to perform some test runs, what we'll do is we'll replace that target, which is a table, with a flat file. Okay. So your requirement is to load the data to the table only. But just for test run, just to identify whether the performance issue is while loading the data to the table, what I'll do, I'll replace it with a flat file. If the load time is reduced, then there is a bottleneck at target. That means, so this is my actual flow. This is my actual flow mapping, which is extracting the data from a file and loading to a table as per the business requirement. So just now, to test whether there is a issue at the target while loading the data to the table, what we'll do, we'll perform some test runs. So to perform the test runs, we will replace this target, which is a table, with a flat file. But normally we won't do it in our actual mapping where we have done our coding. What we'll do, we'll create a test mapping for it. So maybe I can just say like, so the same mapping you can take and drag and drop here. So it will create a copy of it. You just rename it accordingly. Say like performance testing something. Just for testing purpose, you are creating it instead of modifying your actual mapping. Okay, this is the same mapping what I have. So in this mapping, what you will do is, so you will replace this target, which is a table, with this. So you will create a same target, the same structure of the table as a flat file. Okay, now, so this is my target flat file. So the structure of the table and this flat file are same. So the similar target you will create, which will be a flat file, then you will load the data to that flat file here. Okay, so this is your second mapping, the test mapping. Then what you can do is, if you just want to test it, either yeah, so you will create one more, you can create one more session, that is something, a test session. Okay, it's already there. Okay, so you will select your test mapping. So run both of this in parallel now. Save. Okay, so what we are doing for both of this, the source is same. My actual target is table. In the test session, I'm loading it to a flat file. Now you can run both of this in parallel. Okay, okay, I have to provide the file name, source. Okay, target file, let it create here. We are not checking that. Start the workflow. See, my test for workflow actually completed 1 second before my actual one. That's what I was saying actually. So processing of records with flat file is much faster than the table. Okay, so now what I did, I have done it, created a test session and mapping, and I have replaced it with my table. Okay, target, instead of target table, I have used a target flat file. So you can do this test run, and if you see the load time is reduced, in my case it was just 1 second. But in real time cases, if there is really a bottleneck at your target, so then the load time, it might be differing from 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes and all. So if there is a much time difference, then you can say, "Acha, okay, there is this performance issue is at the target level where I'm trying to load the data." Okay, that conclusion you can get it with this test run. So if you see there is a bottleneck, that means if there is much time difference, so then what are the solutions? So you can't just replace the target with the flat file, because the requirement is you need to load the data to the table only. Just to check whether the issue is at the table level, we will do this test run, but we can't recommend them, see, issue is here, performance issue, so I won't load it to table, I will load it to flat file. That is not done. So because the requirement is we have to load the data to the table only, then what are the solutions we can go for to reduce that performance issue? Solutions are like, check any indexes exist on the target level or not. That is indexes. So you are loading the data to this particular table here in the database level, are from my target. So this is the table where you are loading the data. So you can check whether there are any indexes existing on this table. So at the database level, they might have created the indexes, so that you can check. So you can check it using this query. Select star from all indexes where table name. So if there are any indexes created, it will list down those indexes. So in my table, there are no indexes created. So indexes are basically created so that it will improve the performance when you are extracting the data from that table. Okay. So if there are any indexes created, so actually it takes time. It takes some time to load the data to such tables. So that's why. So we first check whether if there are any indexes created. If there are any indexes, then what we will do is, if indexes exist, drop indexes before load and recreate those indexes after loading using pre and post SQL. So this is created at the table level, so that whenever you want to extract the data from the table, there won't be any performance issue. So but it is creating me issue with while loading. So what we do is, normally in our pre SQL, that is, this is my source here in my session source. If you go, there is a pre SQL and sorry, this is my target. Yeah, in my target, if you go, you can see the pre SQL and post SQL. So in the pre SQL section, you will drop those indexes using this query, drop index name. If there are some 10 indexes created on the table, so one below the other, you can write the same query, okay, separated by semicolon, and give that particular index name. So in the pre SQL, it will drop the index. What it will do, before starting the loading to the table, it will drop those indexes. So when it start loading the table, there won't be any indexes in the table. So the loading will be faster, and once the loading is completed, in my post SQL, I will recreate those indexes. Whatever I have dropped earlier, I can recreate those indexes. So this is one solution to improve the performance. Second thing is, go for bulk load. What is bulk load? If you see in the target here, again, so target load type, there are two types of loads. One is normal load and one is bulk load. Okay. So if we use bulk load, it will improve the performance. Again, if you want to go with the bulk load, there should not be any indexes on the table. So if there are indexes, you have to drop in the pre SQL and recreate them in the post SQL. So if we go with the bulk load, even this will improve the performance. Because go for bulk load when we insert to table in Oracle. So this is Oracle database functionality. We can what we can load the data to the Oracle tables in two methods, with bulk load or normal load. What happens is, when we insert the data to the table in Oracle, it writes at two places. One is at the data file level, and one is at the read or log files. So whenever we insert a data to a Oracle table, it writes at two places. One is data file and another one is called read or log file. If we use bulk load, it won't write to read or log files. So that time taken to write the data to the log files will be reduced if we go for bulk load. So it will improve your performance. Okay, so you can use this bulk load option. So make sure you drop and recreate the indexes when you use the bulk load in your pre-SQL and post-SQL. Even this will improve the performance. Again, still you want to improve the performance means you can increase the commit interval. So in your workflow properties, we have the commit interval. So by default, it will be 10,000. If you are processing some used records, you can improve, you can increase this commit interval. So what it does is for every 10,000 records I insert into the table, it will perform a commit on the table. So the more the records, more the commit operations will be. So you can improve the you can increase the commit interval time here. Instead of 10,000 you can say 1 lakh. So again it depends on your the data how much you are processing. Okay, even so by reducing the number of times you want to perform the commit will improve the performance. So that's why we say in case you can also always go and improve your commit type. So okay, this is another method, increase the commit interval. Still, if there are any issues, the last thing what you can perform is database table partitioning at the Oracle database level. On the table, target table where you are inserting the data, you can perform the partitioning. So there are different types of partitioning available in the Oracle. So you can do the partitioning on the database table level, not at the Informatica, at the database table level. Even this will improve the performance. Okay, so these are the different solutions we have for to in case if there are any bottlenecks at the target. Okay, so assume like you checked at the target level, so you replace the table with a flat file, but the time taken was almost same like we did now. So it was just a 1 second difference. So it was just 1 minute or 5 seconds difference means. So actually there is no issue at the target level. Then you will go to the source level. You will go and check if there are any issues at the source where we are extracting the data. Okay, then what we have to do. So I think it will disconnect in a minute now. So once it disconnects, we'll quickly connect and we'll continue. Okay.